Namaste and welcome back to online mathematics class. In this video, let us have a quick review on the chapter Continuity and Differentiability of NCERT Class 12 Mathematics Test. Let's move on to the topic. Continuity and differentiability. Here we have different sessions in this chapter, continuity and differentiability. The first one is continuous functions. Continuous functions. Then algebra of continuous functions. Algebra of continuous functions. Then differentiability. Then in differentiability, we have chain rule. So here continuous function exercise 5.1 is related to continuous functions. And chain rule we have on exercise number 5.2. Then the next one is derivatives of implicit functions. Exercise 5.3. Next is derivatives of inverse trigonometric functions. Derivatives of inverse trigonometric functions. It's also exercise 5.3. Next is exponential and logarithmic functions. Exercise number 5.4. Then another one is logarithmic differentiation. Exercise 5.5. Next is derivatives of functions in parametric forms. Derivatives of functions in parametric forms. Exercise 5.6. Then second order derivatives. Exercise 5.7. Okay, so these are the important parts in continuity and differentiability. And one more session is there, Rolle's theorem and mean value theorem, and that topic is deleted from our syllabus for this year only. Okay. Now we shall reverse the topics one by one. First one is continuous function. What is a continuous function? Suppose f is a real function on the subset of real numbers and let c be any real number in the domain of f. Then f is said to be continuous at x equal to c if limit x tends to c f of x equal to f of c. Limit x tends to c f of x is equal to f of c. More elaborately, we can say if the left hand limit and the right hand limit and the value of the function at x equal to c are exist and equal to each other, then the function is said to be continuous. So we can split this limit as left hand limit and right hand limit, that is limit x tends to c minus f of x, left hand limit or LHL, okay, which is equal to right hand limit x tends to c plus f of x, which is equal to f of c. Then we can conclude the function is continuous at x equal to c. Geometrically saying, continuous means we can draw the graph of the function without lifting the pen from the paper. Okay, there will be no break in the graph of a continuous function. And if a function is not continuous at the point x equal to c, then we can say the function is discontinuous at x equal to c, and c is called a point of discontinuity of f. Okay, now we can consider an example. Let f of x is equal to 1 by 2 plus x, comma 0 less than or is equal to x less than 1 by 2, 1 comma x equal to 1 by 2, then 3 by 2 plus x if 1 by 2 less than x less than or is equal to 1. And here we are going to discuss the continuity at the point x equal to 1 by 2. Okay, so at x equal to 1 by 2, first of all we can find the left hand limit and the right hand limit. Left hand limit LHL is equal to limit x tends to 1 by 2 minus f of x. Here 1 by 2 minus less than 1 by 2, the corresponding f of x is 1 by 2 plus x. We can replace the value here, 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2, which gives 1. Then the right hand limit RHL is equal to limit x tends to 1 by 2 plus f of x. 1 by 2 plus greater than 1 by 2. Okay, so it will be 3 by 2 plus x. And we can replace the value of x here. So 3 by 2 plus 1 by 2, which gives 4 by 2, 2. And f of c here, f of 1 by 2, which is equal to 1. X equal to 1 by 2, the value of the function is 1. So f of 1 by 2 is 1. Clearly, LHL is not equal to RHL. So the function is discontinuous at x equal to 1 by 2. So here we can conclude, since LHL not equal to RHL at x equal to 1 by 2, therefore f of x is discontinuous at x is equal to 1 by 2. So in the same way, we can do any problems related to continuity. Okay, next is algebra of continuous functions. It states that if f and g are continuous functions, then the sum f plus g, difference f minus g, product f dot g, and the quotient f by g all are continuous. Okay, so if f and g are continuous, then f plus g is continuous, f minus g is continuous, f dot g is continuous, f by g is continuous. Here a condition is given, these all are continuous, provided g of x is not equal to 0. Okay, next topic is differentiability. Suppose f is a real function and c be any point in the domain of f. The derivative of f at c is given by limit h tends to 0 f of c plus h minus f of c divided by h. So this is denoted by f dash of c. That means derivative of f at c. Okay, and the function given by limit h tends to 0 f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h, wherever the limit exists, is known as the derivative of the function f, and which is denoted by f dash of x. There are so many notations for first order derivative, dy by dx, then y dash, y1, and f dash of x. Okay. Now the next point is when we can say a function is differentiable. If the derivative of a function at a point x is, then we can say the function is differentiable at that point. Okay. The condition is if the left hand derivative and the right hand derivative exist and equal to each other, then we can conclude the function is differentiable. Okay. For the left hand derivative and the right hand derivative, we have formula. Left hand derivative LHD is equal to limit h tends to 0 f of c minus h minus f of c divided by minus h, and RHD right hand derivative is equal to limit h tends to 0 f of c plus h minus f of c divided by h. If these two values coincide or equal to one another, then we can say the function is differentiable at the point C. Okay. Now look at this example. If the following function is differentiable at x equal to 2, then find the values of a and b. F of x is equal to x square if x less than or equal to 2, ax plus b if x greater than 2. So it is given that the function is differentiable. Differentiable means function must be continuous. Okay. Differentiable implies continuous, but continuous doesn't implies the differentiability. Okay. All differentiable functions are continuous, but all continuous function need not be differentiable. Okay. So here we can write, since f is differentiable at x equal to 2, therefore f is continuous at x equal to 2. For continuity, we have left hand limit equal to right hand limit equal to value of the function at x equal to c. That condition we can write here. LHL left hand limit is equal to right hand limit is equal to f of c, value of the function at x equal to c. Here LHL limit x tends to 2 minus f of x, 2 minus less than 2, here it is x square, which is equal to RHL right hand limit x tends to 2 plus f of x, 2 plus more than 2, ax plus b, and which is equal to f of c. F of c means here it is f of 2. Now we can take the first two parts. We can apply the limit. 2 square is 4. 4 is equal to 2a plus b. Consider this as equation number 1. Okay, the continuity implies we get the equation 2a plus b is equal to 4. Now we can write the differentiability part. Also given f is differentiable at x equal to 2, and which implies left hand derivative is equal to right hand derivative. Okay, left hand derivative is equal to right hand derivative, and we can apply the formula for them. LHL, that is limit h tends to 0 f of c minus h minus f of c divided by h is equal to limit h tends to 0 f of c plus h minus f of c divided by h. Here it is minus h. Okay. Left hand derivative f of c minus h minus f of c divided by minus h, and the right hand derivative limit h tends to 0 f of c plus h minus f of c divided by h. Now we can apply the values. Limit h tends to 0 f of c minus h. Here c value is 2, so we can write f of 2 minus h minus f of 2 divided by minus h, which is equal to limit h tends to 0 f of 2 plus h minus f of 2 divided by h. That is limit h tends to 0 f of 2 minus h. F of 2 minus h means less than 2, that f of x is x square. So here 2 minus h the whole square. Then minus f of 2, 2 square divided by minus h, which is equal to limit h tends to 0 f of 2 plus h, more than 2, the f of x value is ax plus b. So in the place of x we can replace 2 plus h. So a into 2 plus h plus b minus f of 2, 2 square divided by h. Here we can expand this one. Limit h tends to 0. 4 minus 4h plus h square minus 4 divided by minus h. This plus 4 and minus 4 we can cancel. And which is equal to limit h tends to 0. 2a plus ah then plus b minus 4 divided by h. That is limit h tends to 0. From this we can take on minus h common. So minus h into 4 minus h divided by minus h. This minus h we can cancel. And which is equal to limit h tends to 0. From equation 1 we can say 2a plus b is equal to 4. Here 2a plus b, that we can combine and write 4. 4 plus ah minus 4 divided by h. 4 and minus 4 we can cancel. So here we can apply the limit. H tends to 0. 4 minus 0. 4 is equal to. And here on h and h again cancel. We get a. Or a equal to 4. Now we can substitute in equation 1. Equation 1 implies 4 equal to 2a plus b. So 4 is equal to 2 into 4 plus b. 4 is equal to 8 plus b. Or b is equal to 4 minus 8, which is equal to minus 4. Therefore a is equal to 4 and b is equal to minus 4. Clear? Next one is chain rule. Let f be a function which is a composite of two functions u and v. Okay, that is f is equal to v composition u. Suppose t is equal to u of x. T is equal to u of x and both dt by dx and dv by dt exist. Then we have df by dx is equal to dv by dt into dt by dx. So this is called chain rule. We can consider an example. Y is equal to tan 2x plus 3. And we have to find the derivative dy by dx. So here dy by dx is equal to, this term can be treated as t. Okay. That is t is equal to u of x. Okay. Suppose this is t or this is x. If it is tan x, then the derivative is what? Sec square x. Okay. Here dv by dt. So sec square t and t value is 2x plus 3. So sec square 2x plus 3. Then what? dt by dx. We consider t as 2x plus 3. So dt by dx means derivative of 2x plus 3. So sec square 2x plus 3 into derivative of 2x plus 3 is 2. So 2 into sec square 2x plus 3. Okay, next is derivatives of implicit functions. Implicit functions means functions of the type f of x comma y is equal to 0. That means functions in the variables x and y is called what? Implicit form. So to differentiate such functions, we have to differentiate term by term and then we can solve for dy by dx. Okay, let us consider an example. If y is equal to root of sin x plus y and we are asked to find dy by dx. First of all, we can take square on both sides. Y square is equal to sin x plus y. Now we can differentiate each and every term with respect to x. Y square derivative 2y into dy by dx, which is equal to sin x derivative cos x, then y derivative dy by dx. Now we can rearrange the terms involving dy by dx to the left side. So 2y dy by dx minus dy by dx is equal to cos x. Here we can take dy by dx common. So 2y minus 1 into dy by dx is equal to cos x, or dy by dx is equal to cos x divided by 2y minus 1. Okay, this is the method for differentiating implicit functions. Clear? Next is derivatives of inverse trigonometric functions. We know there are 6 inverse trigonometric functions, namely sin inverse x, cos inverse x, tan inverse x, sec inverse x, cosec inverse x, cot inverse x. Okay, first of all you have to recollect the formulas. Derivative of sin inverse x, d by dx of sin inverse x is what? 1 by root of 1 minus x square. Then the derivative of cos inverse x, minus 1 by root of 1 minus x square. Then derivative of tan inverse x, 1 by 1 plus x square. Then derivative of cot inverse x, minus 1 by 1 plus x square. Then derivative of sec inverse x, 1 by x root x square minus 1. Then derivative of cosec inverse x, minus 1 by x root x square minus 1. So these are the 6 important formulas related to inverse trigonometric functions. Now let us consider an example. We have to find the derivative of cos inverse 2x square minus 1. Differentiate cos inverse 2x square minus 1 with respect to x. Consider this problem. So first of all we can take y as the question. Y is equal to cos inverse 2x square minus 1. Now we can make the substitution. We can put x as cos theta and here theta is equal to cos inverse x. That is y is equal to cos inverse 2 cos square theta minus 1. That is cos inverse cos 2 theta. 2 cos square theta minus 1 is what? Cos 2 theta. And cos inverse cos 2 theta, cos inverse cos reverse operation, we get 2 theta. That is 2 into theta is cos inverse x. Y is equal to 2 cos inverse x. Now we can differentiate with respect to x. dy by dx is equal to 2 into minus 1 by root of 1 minus x square, or we can write minus 2 divided by root of 1 minus x square. Similarly, you can solve any problems related to inverse trigonometric functions. Clear? Next is exponential and logarithmic functions. The exponential function with the positive base is a function y is equal to f of x is equal to b raised to x. And exponential functions with the base 10 are called common exponential functions, and the exponential functions with the base e are called natural exponential functions. E raised to x. Okay, natural exponential function, and base 10 raised to x, common exponential function. Okay, and here we have formula to find the derivatives of an exponential function. We have two formulas. One is d by dx of derivative of a raised to x is a raised to x into log a. Then other one is d by dx of derivative of e raised to x is e raised to x itself. These are the two different formulas in this topic, exponential function. Next is a logarithmic function. So logarithmic function is a function f from r plus to r, set of all positive real numbers to set of all real numbers, defined by y is equal to f of x is equal to log x to the base b if b raised to y is equal to x with b greater than 1 is known as logarithmic function. Okay, here also logarithmic functions with the base 10 are called common logarithmic functions, and the logarithmic functions with the base e are called natural logarithmic functions. There are two types of logarithmic function, common logarithm and natural logarithm. Okay, and we have formula to find derivative of log x as d by dx of log x. Derivative of log x is equal to what? 1 by x. So These three formulas we have to keep in mind while learning the topic what exponential and logarithmic functions. Clear? Now let us consider an example. Differentiate e raised to 2x plus 3 log x with respect to x. So let y is equal to e raised to 2x plus 3 log x. This power we can take it as x. Assume it as x. Okay. Now we can apply chain rule. E raised to x. E raised to x derivative. E raised to x itself. So dy by dx is equal to e raised to 2x plus 3 log x. Then derivative d by dx of 2x plus 3 log x. Okay. That is e raised to 2x plus 3 log x. Then derivative of this one. Derivative of 2x is 2. Then derivative of log x is 1 by x. So 3 by x. So this is our answer. E raised to 2x plus 3 log x into 2 plus 3 by x. Clear? Next one is logarithmic differentiation. It is one of the very important topic in this chapter. So if a function f of x is of the form u raised to v, f of x is equal to some u raised to v, where u and v are functions of x, then we can apply what? Logarithmic differentiation. We can take logarithm on both sides. Let it be y. So y is equal to u raised to v. So taking logarithm on both sides and simplifying, we get log u raised to v. That is v log u. Now we can differentiate both sides with respect to x and we can find the value of dy by dx. So the differentiation after taking a logarithm is known as logarithmic differentiation. Okay. If a function consists of a product or a quotient of a number of functions, then also we apply logarithmic differentiation. Let us consider an example. We have to differentiate x raised to sine x with respect to x. Y is equal to x raised to sine x. Now we can take logarithm on both sides. Log y is equal to sine x log x. Differentiate with respect to x. 1 by y into dy by dx is equal to product rule. Sine x into log x derivative 1 by x plus log x into sine x derivative cos x. That is dy by dx is equal to y into sine x by x, then plus cos x into log x. You can replace the value of y here, x raised to sine x, then sine x by x plus cos x into log x. Okay, similarly we can solve any type of problems related to logarithmic differentiation. Clear? Next one is another important topic, derivatives of functions in parametric forms. A relation expressed between two variables x and y, x equal to f of t or f of theta, y is equal to g of t or g of theta. Then the derivative dy by dx is given by dy by dt divided by dx by dt, or dy by dx is equal to dy by d theta divided by dx by d theta. Okay, here t or theta is called the parameter. The third variable is called the parameter. Right. Now let us consider this example. If x equal to a into 2 theta minus sin 2 theta, y equal to a into 1 minus cos 2 theta. Find dy by dx when theta equal to pi by 3. So from x we can find dx by d theta. So dx by d theta is equal to a into 2 theta derivative 2 minus sin 2 theta. That is sin 2 theta is what? Cos 2 theta into 2 or 2 cos 2 theta. From this we can take one 2 common. So 2a into 1 minus cos 2 theta. And we have trigonometry formula. 1 minus cos 2 theta is what? 2 sin square theta. 2 2s are 4. So 4a sin square theta. Similarly, we can find dy by d theta from y. So dy by d theta is equal to a into derivative of 1 is 0, then derivative of minus cos 2 theta. Cos 2 theta derivative, what? Minus sin 2 theta into 2. Here also 1 minus, so minus into minus plus. So 2 sin 2 theta. Or 2a sin 2 theta, again we have trigonometry formula, 2 sin theta cos theta. Sin 2 theta is equal to 2 sin theta cos theta. So overall 4a sin theta cos theta. Now we can apply in the formula dy by dx is equal to dy by d theta divided by dx by d theta, and which is equal to 4a sin theta cos theta divided by 4a sin square theta. 4a we can cancel on sin theta, and here on sin theta we can cancel. Cos theta by sin theta is cot theta. And we have to find the derivative when theta is equal to pi by 3. So dy by dx at theta is equal to pi by 3 equal to cot pi by 3. Cot 60 degree, it is 1 by root 3. So our final answer is 1 by root 3. So this topic is also very important in board exams. Derivatives of functions in parametric forms. Okay. So the last topic is second order derivatives. If y is equal to f of x, then dy by dx is known as what? First order derivative. And the derivative of the first order derivative, if it exists, is known as the second order derivative. Okay. So if y is equal to f of x, then dy by dx is known as what? First order derivative. The derivative of the first order derivative, that is d by dx of dy by dx, which is equal to d square y by dx square, is known as what? The second order derivative. It's also denoted by f double dash of x, y double dash, y2, etc. Okay, these are the different notations for the second order derivative. Okay, now let us consider this example. If y is equal to sin inverse x, show that 1 minus x square into d square y by dx square minus x into dy by dx is equal to 0. So y is equal to sin inverse x. We can differentiate with respect to x. Dy by dx is equal to derivative of sin inverse x, 1 by root of 1 minus x square. Now we can cross multiply this 1 root to 1 minus x square into dy by dx is equal to 1. Again we can differentiate with respect to x. Here product rule, root to 1 minus x square into derivative of dy by dx, that is d square y by dx square, second order derivative. Then plus second function dy by dx into derivative of first one, root x derivative 1 by 2 root x, here 1 by 2 root of 1 minus x square, then derivative of 1 minus x square, chain rule, is minus 2x, which is equal to derivative of 1, derivative of a constant is 0. Here 2 and 2 we can cancel, and we can multiply throughout by root 1 minus x square, or we can cross multiply this root 1 minus x square. Root 1 minus x square into root 1 minus x square, we get 1 minus x square into d square y by dx square, plus into minus minus, here on x into dy by dx, which is equal to 0. That we have to prove. Okay, 1 minus x square into d square y by dx square minus x into dy by dx is equal to 0. Okay, dear students, you can make use of this video for a quick revision purpose for the preparation of your examination. The complete solutions of each and every exercise we have already discussed in the previous classes. If you want to go through the classes once again, you can use the playlist link given in the description box. And if you have any doubts, you can ask me in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Thank you.